Robert Downey Jr. is Doctor Doom? Wow, oh wow, they had so many bots on the stage, it looked like Deadpool's diner. But I have such a good Doctor Doom deck. It's really a Zabu deck, but in higher levels of play and the diner, people were playing Arishem, and then they switched over to Athena-style bounce deck to counter that. And now that has led us to the next evolution in the meta. It is Sandman turn 5, Doctor Doom turn 6. It's an old classic, but there's so many decks that just want to vomit all their cards out on the last turn, and this works. And while I usually grab decks of people more creative than I, this is actually a homebrew. There might be someone out there with a very similar deck list, but I put this together without looking at anything else, mostly because I was tired of getting stomped by Athena decks. But the deck list is mostly just great cards, so stuff that you'll see in plenty of decks. Nebula, White Widow, Gwenpool, and then cards you can move to accommodate the Miss Marvel, like Captain Marvel and Jeff. And there's something I love about putting the Marvels in the same deck, they're like good buddies. But some unique inclusions from other Sandman decks you might see is Zabu and Casanova. Cassandra is good for Arishem. That is pretty much the full reason it's in here. If Arishem wasn't a card, I think I'd be running Copycat or even Nocturne. And it's really just good tempo on turn 3 if we don't hit Zabu. Zabu is the unique post. I know this is a dead card, right? But if you get out an early Gwen, that is huge, or either of the Marvels work to get out as well. So then you play another 4-drop the next turn, and tempo is really important because you want the most power possible before you Sandman. And then when you Sandman, you get the choice between Doctor Doom and Magneto. I like Magneto because it can go vertical, but it also can make some really sneaky plays that they're expecting your Doctor Doom, but Magneto comes in clutch. Then also you have a third sneaky option on the last turn is you could Shang-Chi plus Jeff or really drop any of the other 4-drops plus Jeff. I'd say if I'm not Shang-Chiing anything on the last turn, I like to drop Captain Marvel because she knows what she's doing. Replacements for Jeff or Widow, maybe something like Lizard or your favorite 2-drop. And then I don't like replacing Marvels, but Gwenpool replacement could be Enchantress, especially with all these Patriot decks going around. Crossbones could even work if you're trying to get some of those alliance challenges done. And I even tried Drax, which worked okay when Nebula was in the deck. And lastly, most people have Nocturne, but I don't include her because I'm running Casanova and I really only want 1 3-drop when I'm running Zabu. So yeah, we get into the infinite ladder and we start at rank like 2000 and here's our first game. So the first game, I showed a bit of it in the intro, but we start with Zabu, which is amazing. We go into Gwenpool, which is ideal, and then Miss Marvel. It doesn't get much better than that, and then we play Sandman. This is how the deck operates on paper. This is perfect. And turn 6, you'd think I have the choices between Magneto, Doom, or Jeff and another card. Most people would just play Doom here, but I will caution you. I am never too careful because some people are running Goliath, and that will shut down your Doom, and I've lost a few to that. So I play Jeff and Cassandra, and we end up getting the dub. Then the next game, we get down our Nebula early, which is going to be huge by the end of the game. But the Mr. Negative is put down on their side of the field and I insta-snap. This is just the best matchup for us. They play Black Panther, which is going to be huge, and I know they're looking to Zola, and this is why I run Shang-Chi. And I Shang him, his Arnhem whiffs, and Mr. Negative zaps his deck some more. But there's definitely matchups Sandman just hates. Like a Hela player snaps you with an Infinite already down. You just gotta get out of there. And if you play this deck and you're like, Cassandra is so mid, well, I look and this guy has 20 cards, which means he's playing Arishem, and I get to make big plays like this. And I'll give you a hint, when they stay in and this is what the board looks like, they have Shang-Chi. So rather than Magneto, we Doom here, and here's how it plays out. Yeah, I thought that was a really fun game. Honestly, I might have gotten a lucky Sinister London at the end there, but we take those. So we climbed 1,000 ranks in a day, and then the patch hit, and really only White Widow was affected. Doc Ock could slide in, but more than likely Leech would be a better fit. But I actually made an adjustment to this deck you wouldn't expect. I take out Nebula for Hydra Bob. While Nebula forces the opponent to make more predictable plays, Bob has more reliability. He doesn't feel bad playing him on turn 5 with another 4-drop. And unlike Martyr, he can't really mess up Miss Marvel. And I'm not coping, he felt good. So I wanted to prove this deck isn't just something you can surprise cheese people with on the ladder and in the diner. I take it to Infinite Conquest to put my money where my mouth is. And we get to the 3rd round of 5, and I go in for 8 cubes. Then this happens. Yeah, it feels bad. But we have 2 cubes and a dream, and we whittle them down with win after win, making different turn 6 plays than the last, and we are down to our final 2 cubes. Winner takes all. Death's Domain is a great start for both of us. DC is amazing for them, and then Kunlun is good for me. So they actually commit the Brood to the domain, which is crazy with DC being there. But they Surfer and then Grandmaster, so I get now why they did it. Which, this is a big play. I can't contest them in Domain, and it comes down to Kunlun. And yeah, Marvel saves the day. I love that card. So off the sweaty 5-win comeback, we queue for round 4, and I'm in for 8 again. And it's Miss Marvel's turn once again to save the day. Our opponent can't mount a comeback like I did in the previous Conquest, and we're on to the final game. In the final game, we get a Loki Gamer, which is fitting for me, but it's a tough matchup, especially if they get Loki out early. So I want to give full commentary on this game. I turn 1 pass, turn 2 pass, and goddamn they cook me, and he snaps. I get a Cast Nova out, which is big, and I like Stark Tower for Marvel, so I send it. And he Gwenpool, so he's just got a lot of power and his hand. But the next turn he Coulsons, which is a weak play, and I feel much better. So I have Marvel and Sandman on the tower, and he nukes that tower with Rhino and plays the Mystique down for the power. And then it's back to the classic turn 6 showdown, which most of the time he's gonna think it's either Doom or Ultra coming out in this deck. I bet my game he doesn't Shang, and I play Magneto. And we take the 8 cuber, one we definitely could have lost, and I close it out. Try to fist bump, but my game's bugged. And at the end of the day, I finally get my Ravonna icon. And if you're like, he just got lucky. I actually played right after this too with the same deck, and I won back-to-back Infinity Conquest, upgrading my Pixie icon. But hey, don't let that distract you from doing all this Conquest. I now have 2,850 Colossus boosters. But yeah, this deck is really fun. Since I put it together, I've been playing a lot more Snap. I love the features they're adding, the events. I love the cards. I tested out making videos for this channel a couple of months ago to see if I liked it. And I kind of took a break during the Eternal season and around that time just because it wasn't really for me. But I'm having a ton of fun now, and I've decided I'm going to go all in and commit to making Snap content. Or rather, Snap videos. Content's kind of a disgusting word. But if you like this kind of style, I'd love it if you liked, commented, subscribed to the channel. I know it's a bit different than what most people are used to when it comes to Marvel's Snap videos, but it's the kind of stuff I like to watch. So again, thanks for watching, and I'll see ya in the next one. Bye!